going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Washington Command Post. My name is Commander Plank, Commander J Plank, actually. That's my Twitter handle. JD, that's my name. And we just had a very good game. This is Monday morning at 7:40 in the morning. Just had a very good game against the Dallas Cowboys. Now I can talk about everything in the game. I can talk about the coaching. I can talk about everything. I'm just going to talk about Sam Howell for a minute. Okay, this guy, this kid, whatever you want to call him, young man, is, wow. Okay, so I got to go over some things with him. For the record, I've been hearing on some talk shows. Sorry, I'm getting my backpack and grabbing something. I've been hearing some talk shows, some of the news analysis guys, some of the reporters, calling people who are fans of Samuel Howell Howellians. That's not the right term. It's Howlers. we are the Howlers. Okay, we are big fans of Sam Howell, and we are called Howlers. And I'm 100% all in on Sam Howell starting next year. Okay. After what we saw, so here's basically the situation with Sam Howell. He has not played a down all year until yesterday. He looked good in preseason. He was actually had the most passing yards and was the most productive quarterback in preseason. And I know preseason doesn't mean squat, but you know it's a fact. I'm just throwing it out there. And he had not played a down all season. He really did have to prepare to be a starter all season. He prepared a little bit as a backup when Wentz was hurt and Taylor Heineke was starting. And this brings up some questions to me with Ron. I'll get that in a little bit. But first start, he was announced he was going to start on Wednesday of last week. It wasn't like it was Monday right after the game, and they were like, yeah, I was just playing. It was Wednesday. It was Tuesday when they picked Taylor, and then on a Wednesday, Taylor went to the coach and said, hey, let's give this guy a chance. And then they gave him a chance, and, you know, good decision there. But all in all, this guy literally didn't even have a full week. He didn't have full practice, like full speed practices. I'm going to go over some stats, not some stats, but some things that he's done in this game that gives me a lot of reason to be excited and confident about him playing. He has not had a full practice with any of the main three wide receivers Washington had. Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, and Curtis Samuel. He's not had a full speed practice with any one of them. He has not thrown full speed reps to them. And some of the accolades that I'm going to talk about, keep that in mind. That without any practice with these guys, he was still able to be more accurate throwing to them than guys have been practicing with him all year. So the first thing I want to talk about is Sam Howell. With Sam Howell, he's very accurate. He's very accurate passer. He's on target. He hits a lot of players in stride. There's a pass. Well, first off, like the Terry McLaurin one, for example. The first pass he threw, the Terry McLaurin, ended up being a touchdown. He hit Terry in stride. Other quarterbacks, Terry would have to come back. He'd have to stop. He'd have to slow down his speed, whatever. He hit Terry in stride, and that's why Terry was able to turn up field in stride, full speed, before anyone could close on him to stop him from getting a touchdown. There's another play where it was I think it was in the end of the first quarter or near the beginning of the second. But you had Jahan Dotson was on the right sideline, and he's got like an 8-yard comeback. And Sam Howell threw that ball before he made his break, so that whenever he had the defender reeling on his heels, Jahan Dotson literally just looked back, ball was there, caught it, and when the defender started bringing his momentum forward, he was able to turn up field and get like 10 or 15 more yards. That's how that play is supposed to go. When you throw it, the defender's off balance. You catch it when the defense has kind of got his momentum coming forward. You can turn up field and get more yards. And if the defender wouldn't have caught him, he probably would have gone for more. I don't think there might have been a safety like that Jahan may have had to like just shift directions one time and probably could have been off to the races. But that's accuracy. That is precision, and that is also anticipation, which is not something Washington's had. And a quarterback, I think Kirk was probably the best quarterback we've had in a while, and Kirk didn't even throw the anticipation. Like, Kirk had to see guys open before he threw it. This is anticipation. He anticipated him, where he was going to be, where the comeback was going to come, when he was going to do it, and trusted that he was going to act. He was running the right route, because when a route looks like that, sometimes people just run streaks, and if they don't, understand the play, he trusted that, and in that trust, he ended up getting a great gain and showed a lot of things. He only had 11 completions, and to be fair, there was a couple drops. Terry McLaurin on the second drive of the game that Washington had, after they got touchdown on the first drive, second drive of the game, Terry catches the ball on the first down sticks, and really just have to turn up field, and he might be gone, honestly. There's not anyone around him. The defender's trailing, and he's about to go through a group of defenders where if he just gets by them, he's gone. And Terry dropped it. There's also another one with Jahan Dotson, bomb deep. Sam Howell only got 170 yards, but that's not a complete story. There was drops. There was a big deep drop that should have been caught, but also should have been pass interference. The guy was holding Jahan Dotson's other arm, so he couldn't reach out and grab both. And I think there might have been a drop somewhere else as well. I don't remember exactly. I have to watch the game film. I'm just going off memory. But I know Jahan Dotson had like a 50-yard bomb that he was trying to catch, and the defender was holding his arm back, so he couldn't reach out and grab with both hands. And the refs didn't call it. So there's a lot left on the table. There's a lot left out there where that you're looking at probably a 240, 250 passing yard output. And I'm going to be honest here as well. He's running someone else's offense. This offense was not built around Sam Howell's skill set. They did run some read option, and that might have been actually his choice to run it as a read option instead of running it as a set play. I think Taylor Heinicke was told to run it as set plays, but he was running it. I don't think he was running an offense that was catered to him. This offense was catered more or less to Carson Wentz, the way it was built. I think he's running a lot of Carson Wentz plays and the Carson Wentz style plays, and I think the read option definitely works with Sam Howell. He was able to run and slide. He got 35 rushing yards, I think, and a good rushing touchdown. And that's the other thing that's good about him is he's different than Taylor. Taylor has pretty good straight line speed, but he doesn't have the ability to be elusive. Doesn't have the ability to break a tackle because he's not physically as strong as Sam Howell. Sam Howell's stout. Sam Howell's strong, 6'1", 240. He's a stout guy, and so he can shake off these. I don't know if you remember watching preseason, but he was getting sacked against the Ravens. The other guy had him wrapped up, and he just shook it off, and he ran for 15 yards to get a first down. And he was doing some of that today. I mean, they got to him still, but he was showing some of that today. Some of that moxie that I'm not going down without a fight. So Sam Howell to me. So what was something else he did? His deep ball is amazing, by the way. That's something else that we need. So Taylor has to load up to do it, and Sam Howell's deep ball very, very. It doesn't look like it takes any effort. I said this throughout the season. If you want the best combination of Terry McLaurin, the mobility, the moxie, whatever you want to call it, all those things. If you want to look at that and say what's the? Hold on, I'm trying to turn my heat on. It's cold in my car. And it keeps resorting back to the. It keeps going back to something else. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. Okay. It keeps going back to my defroster, which my defroster doesn't need on. Sorry, but well, here's another thing. Also, Sam Howell was looking off defenders. He was identifying one-on-one coverage and looking off defenders on the bomb to both. Actually, 2 bombs to Terry. He underthrew one, and then he corrected it, and he didn't have any issues after that. But he got a pass interference on the one he underthrew. So one he underthrew to Terry, and the other one he threw to Terry, the 50-yard bomb that was a pass interference that he caught, and then you have the other bomb, the Jahan Dotson that was dropped, but it was pass interference that wasn't called. On those plays, if you look at those plays, if you go back and you watch all 22 film, you're going to see that he identified single coverage before the snap. Whenever he snapped the ball, he took one look to the left to look off the safety, and then came right back and slung it up, giving Terry or whoever it was a chance to go for it, get a deep play, get a big play for big yardage. And that just wasn't that's not been done by previous quarterbacks. As talented as Carson Wentz was or is when it comes to talent wise, he doesn't have that acclimate. He doesn't have where upstairs what he has to do. He doesn't have it upstairs. It's a I don't want to say he's mentally weak, but it is mental weakness. It shows mental weakness when you're not able to do the mental side of the game. I think Sam Howell knows the mental side of the game. He ran when he needed to. He slid when he needed to. He wasn't trying to do too much. He also threw, like I said, in stride. He threw the guys that were open. And the one he didn't throw that was open. Listen, the throw that he threw to Cam Sims was not a bad throw. That was where he needed to put it to give Cam Sims a chance to get a touchdown. The problem is he didn't see the defender, because whenever he's going through this progression, the defender slid behind another defender that was running with him. And on that same play, if he just would have pump faked to Cam Sims, I think he had Terry McLaurin on like the goal line, like on like the 1 yard line. They could have just caught and at least got a first down, but caught and probably got a touchdown. I predicted on Twitter, someone was asking, like, what do you predict? And I said something about 250 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 rushing touchdown with about 70 yards rushing. And if he just would have done that one correct, I'd have been pretty dead on. And those little things like prevented me from being right. But I was in the right direction of what I thought Sam Howell would do. And honestly, he only threw the ball 19 times. And in a game where he was playing to see what they got, and he only threw the ball 19 times, to me that's kind of dumb. But there's nothing you can say to me that would convince me that Washington could not have won games this year playing that style. They ran the ball 41 times in this game. Granted, like a couple of them were Sam Howell scrambles. Let's keep that in mind. But there's 41 rushes in this game and 19 passes. So about 40 and 20. That's exactly 2/3 rushing and 1/3 passing. I'm okay with that. And we could have been doing this all year and had him playing and just give him a solid running game and let him use play action. And I think Sam Howell would have done just fine this year. Instead, we wasted a year, wasted money on Carson Wentz, wasted draft picks, wasted time with Taylor. As much as I like Taylor, we wasted time with him because Sam Howell could have been using this entire year to get experience and get a feel for the game. And by this game, he might have just been so good that I don't know. I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm actually starting to question Ron Rivera's player analysis when it comes to guys his play. They were insisting for weeks that he was not ready to play. And it's not like he came out and played a team that wasn't. I don't think Dallas players, I don't think they didn't care. They were just not motivated to play this game. I'm not going to sit here and try to say, oh yeah, this team was out for blood and we still beat them. No, I don't think they care. I really don't think they gave 2 shits about this game. I really don't think that. Okay, however, it's still a top 10 defense. They still have top players. They still have Pro Bowlers. Okay, Michael Parsons is still a stud. Okay, and he did this. They had that good performance against a top 10 defense. No matter what you want to say, it's still a top 10 defense. I'm going to go in 2 seconds about like our defense. Our defense played great. I don't know where the hell this effort was last week. Why was this effort not being like pushed out there last week? I don't know why. It kind of pisses me off. Maybe Sam Howell is that guy, and maybe he sparks the rest of the team. Maybe that's why the rest of the team was like, dude, start this guy. Let's start this guy. He's good. He's better than the other 2 bums we got playing. Let's start this guy. And maybe he's the guy that inspired. Maybe Taylor. At one time, Taylor Heineke had that level of inspiration from his guy from the team. And as much as the team likes him, they know his limitations. Maybe Sam Howell is just that guy. He just brings that kind of moxie from. Imagine if we just had this all season. That's what irritates me. Now I got an interesting question to ask everyone, and I want everyone to comment this down below. If you read this, I want to comment. Okay, which season do you think was worse, last year or this year? So keep in mind, last year we were 6-9 or 6-10 going into the Giants game, where we won our last game and got 7 wins because we beat the woeful Giants who literally took a knee on 3 straight QB sneaks on their own 1 yard line, just 3 straight plays and then punted from Jake Fromm. Or this year where we were 7-5 at one point this season, and then we ended up 8-1. So which one is better? I mean, I like the fact we got a better record, and it was definitely not a losing season. But it's just it's a gut wrench that we had 5 games to win, 2 more games to get in the playoffs. 5 games. We had 5 of them, and they decided, you know what? No, We're not gonna try to win. We're just not gonna win any of these games. We had 2 games against the freaking Giants we should have won. Okay, we just won those 2 games. The rest of the games are inconsequential. We should have beat the Browns last week, and we win this week. It freaking pisses me off. It is what it is, but it just pisses me the hell off that we 7-5, and we couldn't just win 2 over the last 5 games. If we won 2 over the last 5 games instead of tying, we'd have been in the playoffs right now. We'd be in the playoffs, no questions asked. Unequivocally in the playoffs. It pisses me the hell off. Ugh, gosh, okay. So, let's move on to, let me see if there's anything else I think of about Sam Howell. God, the arm's there, the running's there, the moxie's there. It seems like he inspired his teammates. And again, he played someone else's offense. He didn't have his star running back. He didn't have all the receiving weapons he could have had. He had a decent amount. He didn't have his starting offensive line. He was kind of running for his life a little bit. He was playing the starting defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys. Not a makeshift defensive line, but starting. I actually said to my wife, this is crazy. I said to my wife whenever the first punter screwed up and we got a touchdown, I looked at my wife like, babe, remember the movie I showed you, The Replacement? She's like, yeah. Remember how that was about the scabs? She's like, yeah, the guys that weren't really football players, but they kind of had to be because there was a strike. I'm like, yeah. I kind of get a similar vibe from this game where Washington's not playing a lot of starters and the Dallas Cowboys are playing literally their entire starting offense and defense. And yet still, as I told her, I have a feeling about this. Maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. But it pretty much came to fruition. I had a feeling about this game. Dallas came in flat. They didn't. Dak was awful. And our defense, stopped their running game. Their passing game was pretty much ineffective. Dallas only had 180 yards of total offense. Sorry, I got the hiccups. 180 yards of total offense. That is just astounding to me that the Dallas Cowboys, they're going into the playoffs. They got a 12-5 record, whatever you want to call it, and we held them to 180. If they had Cooper Rush in and backups, I could be okay, that makes more sense. I understand that, but damn. We really just stifled this entire offense. We held them. We made them look like bums. And, yeah, I'm not going to get too much into this, but I want to make something clear. I'm all aboard the Sam Howell train. I'm a Howler. I'll admit to that right now. I want Sam Howell to be starting quarterback. Bring back Terry McLaurin as a backup. If you feel that Terry McLaurin might be a distraction because he's got so many, Sam or Heineke lovers out there, that maybe it'd be a distraction, I can get not bringing him back. But bring him back, man. He's a solid backup. You can win games. You can win games with him, and he knows the system. I really hope. There's rumors that they're gonna fire Scott Turner. I really hope they fire Scott Turner. He's so freaking bad, and he has won a game. I tweeted it exactly when he did it. He has one play a game. It's some idiot douchebag play that kills momentum. This is right after Jahan Dotson had a 30-yard catch, 30-yard catch and run. And then the very next play, we just this kind of weird inside triple reverse to our freaking fullback to a tight end or some shit like that. Just stupid. Just dumb play. Doesn't make sense. And that's another thing that Sam Howell did yesterday. He was playing behind the sticks a lot because they were running some dumbass plays. Running a lot of dumb plays. Really was. Oh, gosh. I hate Scott. I hope he's fired. I don't know who we're going to bring in, but I hope he's fired. So, that's my video. I want to thank everyone for watching. And, it's the off-season's here. We're going to have to start getting some draft videos, some things like that. I've been focusing on, I just had a kid, so I've been focusing on more on that. But I'm going to start investing more in shorts because I can get those in and out pretty quick. These take a little bit more time to, actually sit down and film without distractions because they're this one's almost 20 minutes long. So, trying to do more content for this. So I didn't post a lot this season. I do apologize. There's a lot of things going on. My job moved me to a place that's an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes from my house. I take Turnpike every day to get there. They pay for that, but it's 3 hours I don't get back, basically, of my life a day. So that's a lot of time. And, yeah. So I want to thank everyone for watching. And hail to the Commanders. Follow me on Twitter, Commander J Plank. And everyone have a good one.